Hey guys, it's me, the Bombay Chef Varun Inamdar, and welcome to Rajshri Food. Today's recipe is quite a stunner in itself. It's called Grilled Paneer Rice Bowl. When I say this recipe is a combination of several things, what I mean is a pulao, which is a very different kind of a rice that I'm going to show you today. It has got a tandoori based sauce. It of course has a grilled paneer shashlik, and finally it has a topping which is very different. Let's begin with the rice. For that, let's heat the pan on high flame and add in oil. You can also make it nice and rich by making this with desi ghee or butter. And like I always say, the choice here is completely yours. Once the oil in this pan heats, ensure you swirl the oil like so the pan also kind of gets tempered. Let's begin with almond bits and fry these, say 30 seconds. Once the almonds get nice and nutty, time to add in the golden raisins. Let's stir this till they become nice and almost ballooned up and bloomed. Time to lower the flame and add in turmeric powder and red chilli powder. Followed up immediately with pre-cooked rice. With this, let's whack the flame on high and literally stir fry this. At this point in time, also do not forget to season this with salt and sugar. Like I said earlier, it's a very different kind of a rice, very different kind of a pulao. If you've added salt while pre-cooking the rice, avoid it at this stage. And along with this, sugar. Now sugar, little less, little more, choice is completely yours. You want it sweetish, go slightly higher. Once this is done and ready, let's transfer this in a deep bowl. Let's keep this rice aside for later use and let's begin with the gravy. In this case, the second component, which is the tandoori gravy. To begin in a cold pan with curd, crushed ginger, garlic and green chilies, besan. Now besan is basically gram flour. This is untoasted because it's going to get toasted also while getting cooked. It's exactly the way we would make a tikka marination. This recipe is just like that. I've just named it tandoori gravy and that goes wonderfully well with this kind of rice. Let's add in some powder spices, beginning with red chilli powder. Again, if you want to make this recipe really spicy, you can go slightly higher on the green chilies. Red chilies in this case is just for that nice, vibrant, bright red color. Garam masala powder, turmeric powder, salt, and finally oil. Now I'm using vegetable oil in this case because I think it goes better in this recipe like that, but if you really want this tikka style, then please add in mustard oil, pure mustard oil. The whole idea now is to mix this well, almost whip it up or whisk it up till it is lump free. Remember how a tikka marination looks? Just like that. And then of course, we'll take it further. Remember the fact, the flame is still off. Once all of this is mixed well, turn the flame on. Allow this to cook for at least 2 to 3 minutes on medium flame. Keep scraping the sides and the bottom because you do not want this mix to get burnt. The whole idea of cooking this mixture is not only to cook the curd and the spices, but also to ensure that with the heat, the gram flour kind of thickens this mixture. And then when we add in water, it just works beautifully well, almost silken and smooth. Once this mixture is cooked well and also oil starts releasing the sides of the pan, we're going to add in a cupful of water. At this stage, you can also check for seasoning. Allow this mixture to roll boil for at least 3 to 4 minutes on high flame. Let's do that on another flame, on another burner. Let's move this here and get a grill pan in place. While that's heating up, let's start lacing our shashlik sticks with paneer, cottage cheese, capsicum and onions. Let's begin with capsicum, green peppers, to cottage cheese cubes and red onion petals. Similarly, let's start building a few sticks. Our skewers are done and ready. The pan is also wonderfully heated up. Let's add in some oil. Again, if you want to make this recipe nice and rich, you could also grill this in butter. Let's start placing the sticks. And while that is getting cooked, just add in a little bit of salt and pepper if you wish. While you're grilling this stick, remember the fact that the gravy also needs your attention. Let's stir this, and once the paneer is grilled, you know what? This is done and ready. All our components are done and ready. The next step is the simplest of them all. That is getting all of this together, assembling and eating. Simple. The first thing that goes on a platter is the rice. You can just bring this back to life, just warm it up slightly. While doing this, ensure that you create like a little well, exactly the way you would make while doing something in the bakery and pastry. And that's the place where you're going to do the sauce. Let's top this up with the cottage cheese sticks, with fresh pomegranate seeds for that nice and vibrant color, freshly cut coriander leaves, and finally I'm going to top this with a very unique ingredient, and that is classic mayonnaise. If you're not fond of mayonnaise, you can also drizzle some cheese sauce or serve it just like that. With this, our grilled paneer rice bowl is done and ready. Make this for your family, make this for your friends, but more importantly, make this for yourself. Wait for what next the Bombay chef gets into your kitchen. Bye for now.